All right, y'all. Keto Coach E here. You are live here for Sunday's keto class. Tonight, we're going to talk about the 5 tips to get into fat burning mode. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, y'all. We are live for keto class. Y'all, tonight we are talking about the 5 tips to get you into fat burning mode. The whole goal of the ketogenic lifestyle is to get into fat burning mode. That is why we do this lifestyle, usually to start. Now, I think down the road, we kind of discover all of the other benefits of the ketogenic lifestyle. We figure out how much better we feel. Like personally, for me, I've lost about 30 pounds on the ketogenic lifestyle, which isn't really impressive, considering, 30 pounds over a 4-year stretch of time is not really truly impressive, but that's about all I needed to lose. So at this point, I'm really in maintenance mode when it comes to the ketogenic lifestyle, but I feel so good, y'all. I feel so good. I was in the gym yesterday and I did a pro workout for some guys yesterday in the gym. And I promise y'all, I'm doing moves in the gym. I started to feel like I should just go ahead and strap up and play again. I'm feeling so good. And the guys are like, man, coach, hit 3 shots in a row. And I'm like, hey, I'm just feeling great. And the ketogenic lifestyle, you may start it for weight loss, but overall, once you start to learn about the overall health, it becomes a huge, huge benefit. So he said Keto Avengers episode 1, season 7. So I appreciate that. That's the Facebook side over there. So I see Yadi. I see Yadi over here on the TikTok side. So Yadi, welcome to the live. So let's get started, y'all. These are 5 tips to get your body into fat burning mode. This is one of the things that I think differentiates the ketogenic lifestyle from just doing low carb. And I always talk about Ellen. Ellen is like, she's like one of that mastermind MVPs. She's been working with me inside the mastermind for one full year. Like for 1 full year, she is like 2 pounds away from 100 pounds of weight loss, right? So like she was doing low carb for a few years before she actually wandered into the coaching group, which is I call the mastermind. So the mastermind is a coaching group, and she stuck with it for a year. So I can't even take all of the credit because it's her ability to stick with it for a year, along with the teaching that gets that type of success. So that is one of the main things that differentiates is keto and low carb. There is a differentiator, and the differentiator is the fat, y'all. It is the fat and the ingredients. Focusing on the ingredients and making sure that you are getting enough fat. So number 1 tip to get your body in fat burning mode. I hope y'all got your pens and papers now, all right? Because I get to going. So the number 1 tip to get your body in fat burning mode is you're going to need 120 grams of fat and or more. During the pandemic, I think my phone was ringing. I was talking to at least 1 to 2 people a day because I give out my phone number. Y'all look, if y'all look at my bio, my phone number's in my bio. But I guess while people were home, they were just more apt to call and have a conversation. And I loved every minute of it. But what I noticed is almost every individual I talked to was not getting enough fat. And why were they not getting enough fat? Because it's just common sense that we haven't been taught how to eat fat. We have been told not to eat fat all of our life. So we don't know how to eat it. We don't know where to get it. We don't know where should we get fat? How much of it should we get? 120 grams. Oh my God. Like, I'm not supposed to eat that much. So, everyone I talked to was not getting enough fat. So when you start a ketogenic lifestyle, that's the one mindset shift that you're definitely going to have to make. And if you're not using the app, I'm telling you, it's about 120 grams. And I tell people that because if you put it in an app and you see 115 or 135 or whatever the app kind of lands you on when it comes to fat, I don't want you to be alarmed. You need to understand that it's going to be up in that around that 120 grams area. So when I talk about fat, I talk about getting your 20s. And when I talk about getting your 20s, that's 20 grams of fat per food item and just kind of adding it up. So I always account it to like money. So if we want to get $120, we would rather get it in 20s than ones, right? We would rather, it's going to take you a little bit longer to count the ones out than to count the 20s out. So I say, get your 20s. So one way to get the 20s, I talk about nuts, macadamia nuts, pecans, Brazil nuts. So here we go, Dr. Miller. This is me repeat myself over and over and over and over again, because I always say, I laugh because I say this all the time. And Dr. Camilla has said, yeah, coach says he always repeats himself. And it's like, I do. I feel like I say this stuff over and over again. But what I got to remember, go ahead. I heard somebody come off mute over there. Well, that was the hand clap. So, you got to get your 20s. So to get in the 20s is 20 grams of fat per food item. And the first way I start with that is nuts. For the most part, macadamia nuts, pecans, Brazil nuts. Repetition is the mother of skill. So this is why I go over this. So if y'all roll with me, y'all hear this stuff all the time. Macadamia nuts, pecans, Brazil nuts. You're going to get 20 grams of fat from a macadamia nut, and you're going to get like 1.5 grams of carbs. So really, you can get 40 grams of fat and 3 grams of carbs from a macadamia nut. Whereas if you get 1 ounce of, let's say, almonds, you're going to get above 3 grams of carbs for that 1 ounce. So the whole thing is that's why I talk about those being the top 3, your macadamia, your pecan, and your Brazil nuts. And I promise you, if you go through my Facebook, I did a class on nuts. I need to do it again and do another one soon, especially on the Clubhouse side and the TikTok side, because it's not recorded. But I definitely want to share that again, because I really get you to visualize that, no, it's not that almonds are bad. Almonds are not bad. In actuality, they're pretty good nut. But if you're looking to increase the fat number, then I'm not going to spend my time eating 1 ounce of almonds when I can eat 1 ounce of macadamias, pecans, or Brazil nuts, if that makes sense. So that is one of the ways to get to 20s. Of course, avocados. Avocados is like the holy grail of fat. So you can get half of avocados, about 10 grams, and you get a whole avocado, it's about 20. You can split that up and, eat it throughout the day or whatever, or eat half a day. That's still 10 grams of fat. Oils. So your oils, your coconut oils, your MCT oils, your avocado oils, and I forget which one I didn't say, but the 4 oil, they're about 4. So you got MCT, I need to write it down so I remember which one I said and which one I didn't say. MCT, we got avocado oils, you got coconut oils, and you got, which one am I missing, y'all? Which one am I missing? I'm missing one. It's butter. What was it?
Aren't you missing, wait a minute. Aren't you missing butter?
Not the butter, but another oil. The oil that come in the box.
Oil. Would it be, butter would be key. Are you not EVV, not EV?
That's it. Right? That's the one I'm missing. Yeah. Extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah, extra virgin.
That's the one I was missing. My brain was just blocking them. Now there you go. Somebody on Facebook got me with the olive oil. So those are going to be your oils. They're all about 14 grams of fat. Now, definitely, we definitely do have the fats, the butters, the ghee. Those type things are all good as well. But see, what I like to do is I like to talk about the ones that people aren't afraid of. So I'm talking. So yeah, we know that butter is good, ghee is good, but there's still some fear of the butter. There's still some fear of those animal fats, right? So people aren't afraid of extra virgin olive oil. So you can get 14 grams of fat from olive oil, from MCT oil, from coconut oil. You can get 14 grams of fat from that. So per tablespoon. So you could take that tablespoon and drizzle it on your salads or whatever food item you're eating. You could drizzle it on there, and you can drizzle 2 tablespoons on there. And now you're getting close to 30 grams of fat. So there's another way to get your 20s, right? To get that fat. I'm still on the first one. See, I say I'm gonna be quick, but I get to run in my mouth. So that we get our 20s from that. That is a great way to get that fat in. So we got seeds. We didn't talk about seeds. Pumpkin seeds. You got sunflower seeds. So we have all these. We got hemp seeds. Where Renee? We got hemp seeds. So you have chia seeds, flax seeds. So you have these seeds. So y'all can tell I didn't just write this stuff down. I'm pulling it out my brain. So these are all of the seeds that you can have as well that are going to help you get towards those 20s, because that is going to help you. And granted, there are other sources of fat. But see, I'm just talking about the ones that people aren't afraid of, because now you see, okay, I can eat nuts, I can eat avocados, I can get olive oil, coconut oil. These are all great sources of fat. Now, when we talk about butter and ghee, and then mayo is another one. But mayo, it's like a second tier. But then you get the correct types of mayo. When I say correct, y'all, it's not a correct or incorrect, but the one that is going to not have the inflammatory oils, and that's a class for another day, is inflammatory oils. But soybean oil is in most mayonnaise products. So you want to look for like the Sir Kensingtons. Those are gonna be a little better product for you. They got Sir Kensington, you got Primal Kitchen, and then there is Chosen Food. So those are the top 3 that I found, and I've been researching like crazy trying to find. And those are the top 3 mayos that you would want to get, because they put coconut oil, not coconut oil. Most of the time they're going to put avocado oil in them. So they're not going to use the soybean oil. So that's another good source of fat if you get the right mayo. And again, I don't want to say right or wrong mayo. So y'all will hear me speak about keto as not being dirty or lazy. You will hear me just basically categorize it as being a more relaxed version of the ketogenic lifestyle, in which I believe everybody does a version of relaxed keto at some point in their journey. So you may be really strict for a period of time, but then there's going to be a period of time where you're going to relax a little bit. So I call it more of a relaxed keto, because I don't like to use the words dirty or lazy. If you're changing your lifestyle, you're not dirty or lazy, okay? So I use the word relaxed keto. So yeah, the soybean oil is definitely one that is more inflammatory, which I consider more of the relaxed keto type of food item. And I have a point system, which I'll share with y'all one day when I can get it to deliver. It's a point system that basically, if it has soybean oil in it, you subtract 10, and you will know what the grade of that product is, and you'll know whether you should leave it in the store or take it with you based off of my little grading system that I created. So that's number 1, y'all. Get your 120 grams of fat and know your fat. So we just talked about the fats that you need to know. So number two is make sure your macros are in order. Make sure your macros are in order. So when I talk about your macros being in order, you may hear people say one of the biggest mistakes in keto is eating too much protein. And then you may hear the words gluconeogenesis come behind that. And yes, that's a thing. But I think the biggest issue is that people do not have the macros in the right position. And I can tell y'all that I've learned this inside of my coaching group. And y'all hear me talk about it all of the time, because that's what I do. We meet 6 hours a week. So, yeah, I talk about them all the time because I spend a lot of time with them. Like, they become family, right? And it's like I spend a lot of time with them. And what we have learned inside of this group, inside this coaching group, is that no matter how many calories, as long as they're not too low, all right, and as long as they're not unbelievably high, if you're whatever the calories are, at the end of the day, your macros have to match up. And when I say macros have to match up, you have to have a 5-20-75. If you have a 5-20-75 and you ate 1,700 calories for the day, you're going to be good. If you ate 1,500 calories for the day and you still have had 75% fat and 20% protein. See, people get messed up when they start having 75% protein and they ate 60% fat for the day. So that's when people get mad. So when I say have your macros in order, that's what I'm talking about. Having your macros in alignment with the ketogenic lifestyle. And that's why I teach people not to drink protein shakes. So y'all will hear me talk about the fat shake that I'm a brand ambassador for all of the time, because I've drank this fat shake for 4 years. Like literally, I drink it for 4 years because I love it, because it's the proper macros for the ketogenic lifestyle. Why are we drinking protein shakes? Protein shakes usually have about 30 grams of fat, 30 grams of protein, which puts our protein numbers way up. So most people will end up eating a protein cookie, a protein bar, protein chips. And then at the end of the day, and then they ain't even get to the back of the store to eat the chipmunk and squirrel yet, right? So that's the all of the meat that's in the bag of the store, right? So I haven't even got back there to get that. So then they end up eating way too much protein. And then at the end of the day, they can't figure out why they're not in fat burning mode. So again, let me reset and talk about the topic is 5 tips to get you in the fat burning mode. So this is why I teach that. Like when you start overdoing the protein and you haven't increased your fat, and you're not still keeping the macros in order, the fat burning mode is not going to be the same. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep the 5 to 20 to 75. So I talk about the fat shake that I have, and I'm pointing to it for those who can see me. And also Boathouse has a fat shake that I love. Now, granted, the store-bought one is a lot more expensive because it's just like one little bottle in the store, but it works. It's 5, 20, 75, or close to. It's like 74% fat. So it's made for the ketogenic lifestyle. And you have to do the same thing when you eat. And that's why I talk about nuts being the best thing, the macadamia, the Brazil, and the pecans, because if you really did the math on those, they're really close to that 5, 20, 75. They're going to be low carb, they're going to be moderate protein, and they're going to be high fat. So we got to remember that our protein is moderated, and that helps us keep our macros in line. Most people mess up on the protein part, and they overeat it and undereat the fat, and then they're wondering why they can't get in the fat burning mode. So, hey, Daphne, I see you. Welcome to the live. So that's number 2. So make sure your macros are in order, the 5 to 20 to 75. Number 3, make sure that you're getting enough fiber, y'all. And I know that some people will practice the carnivore lifestyle and do that for a period of time, which I think is okay for a stretch of time. I personally am not a huge fan of like just doing carnivore like I've done keto for 4 years, because I like veggies and I just think that they're important. They work for me, and that's my personal belief on there. So fiber, I think fiber is a huge part of this. Because why? Because our fat cells, our body fat is a protector. Our body fat is a protector. It not only protects you from falling down the steps and breaking bones, or falling on the ground and breaking a bone. That body fat actually protects you from that. And then it also captures the toxins that your body is taking in every single day. So those toxins are in that fat, in those fat cells. So when you start to purge fat, those toxins don't have anywhere to go. So when the toxins don't have anywhere to go, they got to leave the body. And they're either going to leave through waste from the front door or the back door, or they're going to leave through your skin. So fiber is a huge part of helping it leave through the back door. Now, if it's not leaving, then some people have trouble losing weight because they rebound. Because they're not purging the toxins. So their body fat says, hey, we got to come back because we got to swallow up some of these toxins because it's going to take over the rest of our body system. So people rebound and they're not able to lose weight. And they find out they lose a couple, they gain a couple, they lose a couple, they gain a couple, they lose a couple, they gain a couple, because their body is rebounding back and forth because they're not getting rid of the toxins. And the fiber is going to help you do that. So the 25 grams for women, 30 grams for men. You want to focus on leafy greens. You want to focus on the leafy greens because that's going to be what's going to help you release a lot of that waste. So that's going to help you release a lot of that waste. And when you go to the bathroom, the toxins that are built up in your body is going to go with it. That's why one of the things I do in my coaching group is this detox, and it's a natural detox. It's just literally lemon, lime, cucumbers, and some other things, chia seeds, and people have experienced great results from it. Why? Because it just forces you to drink more water, which is going to be the next one. So I'll transition into that. to drink more water, which is also going to help you release some of that waste. So number 3 is make sure you're getting enough fiber from leafy greens. You want to stay away from the tubular type of veggies. And if it grows underground, it's going to be higher in carbs. Does that mean that you just totally can't eat it? No, it doesn't mean you just totally can't eat it. It just means it's higher in carbs. So therefore, you need to be mindful of it, because I know there's some people who, we talk about kohlrabi, we talk about some of the other veggies that are grown underground that people will make fries and like potato type items with. Yeah, that's all good, but you got to understand that they do have a higher level of carbs, and if you overdo them, then you're going to throw your macros out of whack. So when I talk about macros being out of whack, that's going to throw your macros out of whack, and therefore you're not getting yourself in fat burning mode. So number 3 was fiber. Number 4 is drinking water. So you heard me just talk about the detox. You just heard me talk about the detox. So Etta says, I got the book yesterday. Thank you, Etta. Etta bought my book, the Keto Playbook, last week while we were on live from Amazon, y'all. So that is on Amazon. You can find it in the link in the bio. So thank you, Etta. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me and stick around for the after party so we can talk about that. So drinking water, 90 to 120 ounces of water. And I know sometimes people go on challenges where they'll drink a gallon. Now, if you can get 90 to 120 ounces a day, ladies don't need as much as men. So that's why I start with the range of 90. I need to cut this alarm. It goes off every time. I say this every week. One day I'm gonna remember to cut it off, right? So drinking that water is going to help you to release the waste. Not only that, but it lubricates the canal so that stuff can come out. I'm trying to be discreet here, y'all. I'm trying hard, right? So it lubricates the canal so that it can move through the digestive tract and exit the body, right? So you need to make sure you're getting enough water. You just imagine that if it's a barren, dry land, it's not going to move. It's not going to be able to move through comfortably. So you need to make sure that you are hydrating, and the electrolytes are going to help you with that. So you want to make sure that you're getting electrolytes along with your water. Get Ultimate Replenisher. I love Ultimate Replenisher. That's the one I've tried them all. None tastes better than Ultimate Replenisher. All right. So I don't know. Y'all can argue with me about that one, but I don't think any of them taste better than Ultimate Replenisher. I don't think there's any that's close to Ultimate Replenisher. Ultimate Replenisher, detox water. So these are things that maybe if you're not a water drinker, I personally am a water drinker, so it's not an issue for me. But I know there are people who just don't like water. So you add these type of things to help you get those ounces of water in, to help you get more water. So you add some electrolytes to your water. You add some fruit, some type of fruit to your water to infuse it. You can even add those berries and things that like strawberries that we would normally eat in bulk. But yeah, if you cut it up and you're just putting it in water, it's not going to be as many carbs as if you were to eat the whole berry. So those things could give your water a flavor that may make it palatable for you and make you drink more water. So you want to make sure that you're getting that 90 to 120 grams. And we're talking about getting in the fat burning mode. 5 tips to get you in the fat burning mode. Now, once you have gotten through making sure you got your 120 grams of fat, getting your 20s, knowing your fats, knowing your healthy fats, because yeah, we can go eat all of the other stuff that's not as healthy as we want it to be. But that's why I focus on the healthier fats, the things that people are not afraid of, like nuts, seeds, and olive oil, and coconut oil, and MCT oil. People are not really afraid of those things, right? So I talk about those. But yes, you still have the butter, you still have the ghee, you still have all of the animal fats. I know my grandmother used to cook bacon and pour it right in the sad part is that she used to pour it in the Crisco can, and we had already eaten all the Crisco, so so we had already eaten all of that, and then she poured the bacon fat in the Crisco can. So it was a little bit of good with the bad. So you want to make sure that you are getting those fats. There's so many sources of fat, and some healthier than others, and some that you want to take in more than you want to take in others. And then number 2 was to make sure that your macros are in alignment. Your 5, your 20, your 75. So when I talk about your macros being in alignment, I'm not really talking about calories. I start everyone that I work with out around 1,500, and then we work with them up or down, depending, not too far down, not too far up, but work with them in that space. And once you know your calories, you put them in the back of your mind, and then you focus on the macros. Then you focus on the 5 to 20 to 75. So if you have a day where you're just not as hungry, y'all, we're humans. we're not going to be the same every single solitary day. You might come on here one Sunday and I might not have this much energy. We're not going to be the same every single solitary day. So you got to understand, there are going to be some days you're going to be hungry. There are going to be some days you're not going to be hungry. If you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't eat. You're good. You're fine. So just make sure the macros line up. So you still want to continue to make sure, okay, you know, if you're using the app, okay, I got the 75% fat, I got the 20% protein, and I got the 5% carbs. I didn't eat as much as I normally do, but my macros are straight. So that is number 2. Number 3, get your fibers. Number 4, get your water. Your fiber should be 25 grams for women, 30 grams for men. And number 4 is to drink water, 90 to 120 ounces a day. Add something to your water to make it palatable. If you're not a water drinker, add the fruits to it, add electrolyte drinks to it. Those things will help you get that water in. And last but not least, the thing I talk about most of all is avoid the hidden sugars. Y'all know I talk about this all the time. Avoid the hidden sugars. And I want to tell y'all, everything that I'm teaching you right here is what I've taught inside my mastermind group, my coaching group. I'm just gonna call it a coaching group. The mastermind know what it is. Inside my coaching group. And over the last year, they've lost over 1,500 pounds just inside this group. That's over 120 some pounds. It's probably more than that. I ain't really doing the math, but over 120 some pounds a month inside the group. And to be honest, it's only about 25 people who report. So out of all of the people, this don't include the people on TikTok that haven't joined my group, people on Facebook that haven't joined my group, that don't report every week. But 1,500 pounds lost in 1 year from September 2021 from September 2020 to September 2021, 1,500 pounds gone. And these are all the same strategies that I teach them. These are all the strategies that I teach them. And the main strategy I talk about is avoiding the hidden sugars. This is why you see me on TikTok doing all of the products, because I know people going to eat products, especially if they don't have a coach that's forcing them not to eat it, right? So people are going to go out and they're going to buy products. So if you're going to go buy a keto cookie, I want you to be able to eat the one that is not going to hinder your success on the ketogenic lifestyle. So when you see my videos and you see the snacks, don't say, oh, he always talking about snacks. Say, oh, okay, so now I know if I want to get one, I know which one to get. So I know which one I could get that's not going to hinder me from the ketogenic lifestyle. It's not going to knock me out. I hate using the phrase knock me out of ketosis because I think that's just so harsh. But that's not going to be conducive to you losing weight on the ketogenic lifestyle. So avoiding those hidden sugars. So I'll name a few of them. So maltitol is one of the main ones that you see that these companies will take and put maltitol in stuff. And maltitol is a glycemic index that's higher than sugar. You got maltodextrin, which is like a 100 on the daggone glycemic index scale. So these are 2. Y'all know I talk about sucralose a lot. Sucralose is, I've read studies about sucralose, but I promise y'all in the last year of working inside my coaching group, it's just confirmation, because most people who are drinking sucralose, and I say drinking because it's usually in drinks, come back to me after about a week and be like, I lost about 6 pounds just not drinking sucralose. Sucralose, y'all, it tears up the gut bacteria. This is the study talking, not Keto Coach E. It tears up the gut bacteria, and of course, it doesn't do it for every single solitary person. But if it's a 50-50 chance, as in the study, there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to walk outside and get hit by a Mack truck, you're probably going to stay in the house that day, right? So I'm not risking taking in the sucralose and it tearing up my gut bacteria. It also causes cravings. Just tell somebody, if you know somebody who's doing the ketogenic lifestyle and you know that they're drinking those things that have sucralose in it, and you tell them not to drink it anymore, watch. They're going to try to fight you. I mean, fist fight. They're going to be upset. So I'm trying to tell y'all, it has that same addictive power as sugar does. And I've seen it firsthand multiple ways. I've seen it firsthand how people have had a huge turnaround after eliminating sucralose. And I've seen how people will just fight it. It's a week or two, like fight it. Like, I cannot stop drinking this sucralose. So let me name some of the things that have it that are popular, and then I'll move on. I try to keep these short, y'all, but I get excited, y'all. I'm so passionate about this stuff. So when I talk about being mindful of the drinks, so you got Powerade Zero, You got Gatorade Zero. I can't believe I can remember all this stuff, y'all. I don't even have the best memory. Like Powerade Zero, Gatorade Zero. Those two are probably the most popular ones that people go out and get. Bang drinks used to be really popular like 3-4 years ago. I think that people have kind of figured it out. So they don't do bang drinks as much anymore. The ice drinks, like the ice drinks were super popular. Ice drinks used to be popular, but people would drink the ice drinks as well. Those have sucralose. So your Powerade Zeros, your Gatorade Zeros, your bang drinks, your Crystal Light. I didn't mention Crystal Light, the little Crystal Light packs, sucralose in those. Most of those, like the squirt things, the Mio squirt, that has sucralose in it. So those are ones that people love, right? Why do they love it? Because it has the same addictive properties, and you can't put that in a scientific study. So they can't put it's not a number. They can't add a number to it. So they can't put that in a scientific study to say, oh, it causes 0.567 cravings. So there's no number associated with it. So you can't find it in a scientific study. But I promise you, I can see it in the people that I work with that it causes cravings, like major cravings. So those are just a few items, y'all. And this is just a short overview of some of the things that to help you get into fat burning mode. So those are the 5 tips that are going to help you get into fat burning mode. We're going to close it out on YouTube and on the Facebook side. And then we're going to stick around for the after party on TikTok and Clubhouse, where we open up for the Q&A for a little bit here. I try not to stay on too long with the Q&A, especially on the Clubhouse side. So y'all, I'm just going to continue to come and share. I really kind of have and getting my motivation to the point where I'm like, okay, this is the vision. So y'all stick around on the YouTube and Facebook side, y'all. We're coming back every single Sunday, as I've done for the last 4 years. My book is on Amazon. It's called The Keto Playbook. And I must say this, y'all, August is coming. And most people don't really know this, but I have a line of shirts. I should have it on because I'm a bad marketer. I'm going to let y'all know. I love to teach, but I'm a bad marketer, right? So I should have on my shirts right now, my T-shirts. But October is coming, and I have my Keto versus Cancer shirts. And what I do with Keto versus Cancer, and I'll tell a short story before we go, is that with Keto versus Cancer, I've experienced cancer as an observer since I was in high school. My aunt, who was my grandmother, she was technically my aunt, but she was my grandmother because my father's mother had passed when he was 13. So she was pretty much like his mother, as a teenager. So she passed away from cancer, 1992. And I listened to her. She wanted to pass on Easter. And I just remember hearing her scream in the hospital for a whole week because she was fighting it so hard, because she was such a religious woman that she's like, I want to pass on Easter. So she fought cancer like tooth and nail for a week to pass away on Easter. And literally you can go to the hospital and visit her and hear her screaming throughout the whole floor, just fighting it. So that was my first experience with cancer. And in my mind at that point, I always loved science. So, I have a degree in biology at this point. And at that point in my mind, I was like, I'm going to cure cancer. I'm going to cure cancer. I got to be the one to cure cancer, right? So, that was my high school graduation brain. So I continued to go into biology and learn about science and all of those type things. But as I got older, my cousin had breast cancer, and that was pretty traumatic. She's like my favorite cousin. My biological cousin married her, and she was like my favorite cousin. Would take me to the movies. So when she got breast cancer, it was like traumatic to me, and it was another experience. And then last but not least, I experienced with my mother-in-law, and this was the one that really kind of triggered everything in my brain, because what I noticed is that she wasn't helped. So she wasn't helped through this process because she had a job, she had bills to pay, she had a car, she had a home, she had all these things that she had to pay for, but they basically told her, like, you can't come back to work, and it's like, well, what does the person do? Especially if they're not working in a position where they have, all these different types of insurances and things like that. Like, what does a person do? So, I got to see that the struggles with, trying to figure out how you're going to pay the car note, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your rent. I saw that struggle, and that was it. So Keto versus Cancer was born. And if you've seen the T-shirts, you see I've been doing that for like 3 years or so as well. But it's October, and this is usually when the shirts really tend to move. I have hoodies, I have shirts as well. If you go to ketocoache.com, you can go look at and find it, or just message me. But I basically give back. I find a few cancer patients, and I give a portion of the proceeds to them via gift cards, I want to get it so big that I'm able to pay car notes for 3 months, pay rent for 3 months, or you know, pay for the house for 3 months. So I really wanted to grow to that. That's my vision, for it to grow to that level of where I can really truly help individuals. And sad to say that one of the young men that had cancer, I was a student at my school, and he recently passed away. And his brother played on my basketball team, and you know, he was one of the ones we gifted last year. So it was great to be able to just bring him some joy. I call them joy gifts, and it was great to be able to bring him some joy. He had been dealing with cancer for a long time, and he passed away probably about a month or so ago. So, you know, that is one of the things that that I'm doing in October. You know, the shirts are up all year round, but in October, people seem to pay more attention to them. So definitely check those out. The Keto versus Cancer shirts. They're on my site. You just click a link, you'll find it, right? If not, message me. So y'all, I appreciate y'all on the Facebook and the YouTube side. I will see y'all got me sweating in here tonight, y'all. So I will see you guys next week, next Sunday. Y'all have a great week. As always, y'all have a great week. And I will see y'all next Sunday. And those on the Facebook side, join us on TikTok, join us on Clubhouse for the after party and a Q&A. I got some special guests in Clubhouse. So, you know, y'all got a whole lot of people in here to answer questions if they're up to it. So thank y'all much. And I will see you all next week. We'll see y'all at the after party. All right. See y'all.